Hello and welcome to another awful tutorial. In this video we will be creating this simple dice roller. It can roll dice and you can learn to rig it to win bets against your family and friends like a good human being would do. I will do this on an emulated Android device, and if you do not know how to set an emulator up, you can learn it in one of my earlier videos. Before we start, make sure you have VS Code and your terminal open. In your terminal, you can create a new folder called Projects and then navigate to our newly created folder. Now we can start downloading Expo Framework and name our app. It is important to keep your application's name relevant for the content it will deliver. So I will just write npx create expo app, and I will just call mine for hemorrhoid, since we are creating a dice roller. When it is done, navigate to your newly created folder and write npx expo start. This will launch your app and I can start giving you bad programming advice. Now, when your app is up and running, go to VS Code and open your applications folder. It will ask if you trust the authors of the files, and just like in real life, you have to just say yes to everything and hopefully not end up with diarrhea. To your left is the Explorer, and on this list you can see all your project files. Don't worry if your file icons do not look like mine. I just prefer my icons looks like some random colors on a list. We want to open up the yellow file called app.js, and this will be our main file for my hemorrhoid application. All of this will probably look like diarrhea for a lot of people, but do not worry, it looks like diarrhea for me too. Now we can finally begin to write some code. First thing we want to do is creating a function called randomnumber. In this we want to return a random number between 1 to 6, which will determine our dice number. We do this by writing math random, which will return a number between 0 to 1. Then we will multiply it by 6 and then finally wrap it in a math seal, which means it will always round up. So in the case our math random gives us 0.4, then it will multiply that by 6, which will gives us 2.4. Then the ceiling function will round that up to 3, and that is the number our function will return. Now, since this is a beginner tutorial, we do not need to build each face individually inside React. I have created each face in Figma and exported that to GitHub, which I have linked in the description. You can create your own, but in this bipolar tutorial I will just be copying this raw image link into our file. Now we need to create a component which can render our image link. I will call mine for dice, and in here we want to make it return an image component with our link from GitHub as the source. Since the image component do not have any dimensions, I will just write width should be equal to 200 pixels and the same with height. And after this we will write source equal to curly brackets. Inside these curly brackets, we want to make some curly brackets yet again, because who doesn't love those bad boys? Now, inside we will write U, R, and then I, and set it to our image link from GitHub. Let's try it out. If we go down to our app function and add it inside our view, we should be able to make it render if the machine gods allow us. Nice! The machine god has endowed this component with life, praise be. Now, we cannot cheat our friends and family if it only shows one face from the dice. So let's create the button component right under our dice component. Don't write anything in it yet. Then we want to go up right under our app function and make use of React states. So let's create a new state and call the default state for dice, and if we want to change its value, then we can call on setDice. Inside the useState parenthesis we want to set our random number function, so it calls a random number under each update. Go down to the button component again, and now my autism allows us to set the title to dice roll. Afterward we can make use of onPress and create an anonymous function inside. In here we want to update our dice each time the button is pressed, so let's write setDice and put random number inside yet again. You can read more about anonymous functions in the description. For now, just think of them as functions without names, because they have been a dirty boy, and dirty boys do not deserve names, only the guillotine. I will just scale it up a bit because this makes me insanely claustrophobic. Now, let's go to our dice component so we can add another set of curly brackets and pass a prop called number. After that we want to convert our string quotation marks and change them to backticks to make use of template literals. And now we can replace the number with a dollar sign. Dollars equals bananas, and too much banana will definitely give diarrhea. Add curly brackets afterwards and write the name of our prop inside. Now we can go down to our dice component and assign our prop to dice. Now, if we save and refresh our app, we are now able to press our button and it will roll in random number and return the image link that matches. This is it for this tutorial. I hope you have learned something new, and remember to have fun scamming your friends and family. Also, do remember to enjoy life and have a good day.